heard all kind of questions about charter schools. Is it private schools? Do you charge tuition? I mean, I think, how many of you have a child that goes to a charter school? One. Okay, so I'm going to assume you don't know much about charter schools, okay? So I want to kind of fix that up front. Charter schools are public schools of choice, okay? And even though you don't maybe have a child in a charter school, you should really care about how they're doing, and I'd like to tell you why. Charter schools in Hawaii are amplifying or escalating three primary things in our overall public education system. The first is community, and Representative talked about this several times. Charter schools can only exist in a community where the parents and teachers and leadership and community members want to take on the responsibility of educating their kids. That's the only way a charter school can start, is a community has to come together of teachers, of parents, and say, we're willing to take on that burden. And I think that's what we want more of in our public education system. That's what SCCs are all about. It's about empowering community members, empowering teaching staff. Second thing charter schools do is that they're amplifying choice, okay? If you think about it this way, you have no choice as to what public school you go to. You go to the district school. If a charter school opens in your district, you now all of a sudden have a choice. And one of the most uncomfortable things about charter schools is that it creates that competition, right? And we're not used to competition in public education. But one of the things we're learning is that wherever a charter school opens in a community, both the charter school and the public school go up. Performance goes up. We don't have to be rocket scientists to know why that is. It's because now we as adults have to compete for those kids and families. We have to say, our school can deliver this to you and your child. And I think that's a healthy thing for us to do, have this kind of healthy debate. The other thing about choice is it allows families and kids to go to the public school that best meets their needs. And like the Finnegans had mentioned, their child wanted to have hands-on activity and hands-on learning, so they were able to find a school that gave them that option. The last thing charter schools are doing is that they're bringing quality to public education, and this is really important to me, and it gets sensitive in terms of constructive criticism and all those things, right? If you have a charter school, it can only survive if parents choose to go and enroll there. We only get money for the kids that are in our school, okay? So to us, that's the primary measure of quality, is that parents and kids would choose to entrust you with their most precious, valuable asset. That's the #1 measure of quality. Number two, everyone should know that public charter schools have to meet every single standard that other traditional schools have to meet. We take the same tests. Our scores are published online. You can see our results. So we're held to that same standard of quality. But lastly, and it goes to this community and choice point, it's to me the highest measure of quality. And I was in this, got invited to participate in this national conversation about improving public education. And this elderly Hispanic man stood up, and he told this story about when he sees his grandkids, he asks them, oh, how's school going? What are you learning? And then he says, does your teacher love you? And the folks in the room kind of got quiet, right? Like, whoa, this guy's introducing this kind of a weird concept. Is that the measure of quality now? Love? And I can see a lot of folks in this room nodding their heads. But I told you earlier, parent first, at getting down to loving our kids message. And I think that having charter schools in Hawaii have put pressure in all of these areas, and that's something we should be celebrating.